Hello, Talkfunders. In preparation for Season 2 of Talkfunding crowdfunding campaign interviews, Talkfunding is working in collaboration with the Ethnic Minority Business Network. EMIN, for short, is a passionate Northern Ireland-based organisation committed to promoting employment and entrepreneurship among ethnic minority professionals and entrepreneurs in the region. They strive to empower and engage individuals, providing them with opportunities to flourish in their careers and businesses. All the links for EMIN are in the video description below. Now let's go. Let's get on with the show. Hello, Talk Funders. Today we're joined by Mani Kular of Todate. And Mani is also a member of the Ethnic Minority Business Network, who are sponsoring today's show. So Mani, you have a dating app, and I was laughing in preparation for this. I mean, I say 50 is the new 30, so I'm 37, but honestly, I haven't been anywhere near dating for 30 years, you know. And I had to tell my wife beforehand that I'm actually looking at this and downloading this dating app for research purposes only. Okay, so Manny, can you basically bring a middle-aged guy like my good self up to speed on dating apps, and maybe you can start with the origin of the idea of why you wanted to set up a dating app?
Well, the origin of the idea came from my own frustration with dating apps. Is I was always in London for business, and I was using all the dating apps that were out there. So I just kept on getting things like getting all the matches, talking to people for days on end, just having mundane conversation, and then realizing I was just like, if I want to do something on that day, it was really difficult to get someone that would actually want to do something on that day. You'd have to swipe for hours on end. You would get your matches. You'd have to wait for them to reply. When they did reply, your time, like you were out of time, you had something else to do or whatever. So I just sort of came up with I sort of thought there has to be a better way. So basically, I came up with the idea that there should be a same day dating app out there where people only go on the day they would actually like to go on a date. And then we made it more niche in the sense of, or more refined, sorry, in the sense that there's no point going on a date or going on a dating app where people say have completely different interests. So we made it more refined and saying you would choose the actual date you would like to go on, and you would only see people that would like to go on the dates that you would like to go on that day to really, really refine it, just to try and get the matches, make it easier to get a match. And once you get the match, make it easier to plan the date. Because for viewers, sorry, that have used dating apps, once you get a match and you start talking to someone, you might have zero interest at all. All you've seen is a picture of someone and you thought, I like the look of them, and that's it. Then you start talking for hours and hours, and then you're like, uh, we really have nothing in common. So you've just wasted so much time. Whereas with this here one, what we're trying to do is just say you already know that they like going to an art gallery, like going to a museum, whatever. So they like that. So it's kind of refined it down to a way that you can just see someone be like, right, okay, I like that. I like them. They like what I like. We've both matched. Let's just talk and let's just arrange a date instead of having to go through the whole process of going there, going down that line. And
And
that's what
and
we
that
tried.
helps Manny explain actually on your landing page, and the links for your landing page will be in the video description below, where it's actually it states putting people together who want to date today. So it's a bit of a
Right.
mouthful, and I'm going, what is he going on about? So it's actually the app is set up that I want to meet. Say, so we're recording on Friday, so it's like, okay, maybe somebody wants to meet up, say on Friday tonight or something, or maybe they'll
Yeah.
wake up tomorrow morning and goes, look, I've got a free day Saturday. I'm in central London, or I'm in North London, and you go on the app and that is that how it works?
That is how it works. So it's like if you go on a dating app and you want to go out on a Monday, and if you go on some of the other dating apps, you could get a match. You could be swiping for hours. It's like so you're swiping for hours on end, and then you get a match on Wednesday from someone you swiped on Monday. But you want to do something Monday, you're busy. Wednesday, you're busy. Like you're busy throughout the rest of the week. So it doesn't really, unless like it doesn't really add up. So if you actually want to do something on a day, it's quite difficult to actually get a date on the day. And then so we done. done a load of research on it, and it was like something like 30% of people that use dating apps would like to meet on the same day, yet there was no dating app specifically designed for that. And then that's where we just thought, right, you know what? I think we might have something here, so let's just go for it.
And just scrolling down the Todate landing app page, which is in the description below, there's actually 4 key sort of areas that you highlight, part of which you just talked about. The first one is the super easy setup, which is really an interesting feature. Could you talk a little bit about that, please?
So it's just basically whenever you get on, well, we sort of have 3 main USPs, and it is the speed, the safety, and the authenticity of the app. So in terms of super easy setup, I know every single dating app had, like, to be fair, they have an easy setup, but the sort of authenticity and safety side of it aren't there. Whereas, so what we do is our super easy setup is we have ID verification for everyone, because it gives every single user has to go through the same process. It's not like other ones where you can pick and choose the sort of processes. You can choose to get verified, which is sometimes it's not actually a thing. You're being verified on some of the dating apps that doesn't actually mean anything. Whereas with ours, everyone has to go through the same process. So the process is you would go on, you would take a selfie, a live selfie, and then every photo that you upload has to be cross-referenced with that selfie using the facial recognition. So I couldn't just do my selfie and then upload a picture of, I don't know, Jack Grealish, for example. I don't know, like whatever. So you couldn't do that with ours. Um, so there's that, and then everyone has to upload their ID. Just everyone has to do it. It's just one of the things, because for same day dating, it's just like I think it feels comfortable for people. A lot of people that we've noticed on like our sign up process, whenever it gets to the ID part, they'll go through the process, but then it comes to the ID and they'll just stop. And then that kind of, I think anyone that actually is serious about wanting to do this and is actually up for it, they just progress because they're like, right, I actually like this idea. I like what it's going for. So they go on with it. So it kind of cuts out that amount of people that aren't willing to give their ID for, you don't know many reasons, but people have their reasons. So it goes through that. And then the speed of it, once it's done, it's our average, it's like 95% their ID get verified under 2 minutes. So because we use a massive platform, and yeah, and then it gets verified within 2 minutes. So then you can go straight onto the app. So all in all, I think it takes about 4 minutes overall to get through, like from just literally downloading the app to getting on the app, which is like, extremely, extremely quick.
And actually, on the landing page, there is the buttons to download to Google and also to iOS on the landing page. And can you just say something more about the activities and times to suit you? Going back, can you say a little bit more about that?
All right, so it's so how I came up with the idea is I was in London all the time. I was using other apps. I don't know to mention other. Well, I was using the 2 big ones. Everyone knows the 2 big ones. Anyway, anyone that's involved in the data our space knows the 2 big ones. So I was using the 2 big ones, and I just found that going on them, it's like you can get all the matches you want. Yeah. And then a lot of people go on, and I'm sure anyone that uses dating apps have seen videos of people that just they're not even looking, they're just swiping, they're just swiping. So it's just there's no thought, there's nothing in it. It's just a thing, you just do it. So whenever I was going on, I was getting matches, and I was like, right, happy days, I've got a match. So I'll send a message. You get a reply, you get ghosted, you get a reply 3 days later. Doesn't really work, especially if you want to do something like the thing that I wanted to do was Van Gogh live exhibition was on in Greenwich, and I wanted to go to that. And then I was like, right, chatting to people, and they're like, yeah, they would be up for a meeting today. So, and I was like, happy days. Would you be interested in going to the Van Gogh live exhibition? They're like, nah, that wouldn't interest me at all. But I had it in my head that I was like, I want to do this. This is what I want to do. So I was like, okay. Then you're talking to someone else, and they're saying, yeah, I would love to do that, but I can't do it today. I can do it at the weekend. And then so it's just like, right, there has to be something for that can solve this. There has to be something different, a solution to it. And then I just sort of started going, right, what can I think of to sort of bridge the gap? Well, what can I do to solve this problem? And then yeah, I just sort of thought, right, let's go down this, and I researched a load of apps. It was over lockdown, actually. It was over lockdown whenever I started thinking about this, and then was just going for it. didn't seem to be much anything out there really. And then so yeah, then it just sort of progressed and snowballed from there.
Okay, and talking about snowballing, just before we move on to the business development side of things, before people go to the landing page and start downloading the app, can you say where the company's at in terms of like actual users who want to start using your app? Because it does sound very good. Could you say something where you're at, where for the user point
The
of view?
user, so we've had 30,000 installs in London. Where we are based at the minute, we're solely based in London, and we are planning to move to here, get somewhere here. But first of all, we just sort of need to sort of develop it in London because in terms of like the population density and stuff like that, it's the ideal place and sort of needs to work there before it can work anywhere else. So we're sort of focusing on there. We want to bring it home in the next couple of years, but at the minute it's London. Um, in terms of, sorry, what was it? What was you saying
Yeah,
again?
it's just basically so at the minute, if somebody does watch this video and begins to
So
download the app,
here, if it's home, if people are based at home, then unfortunately it's actually not going to work. Well, it could work in theory, but all the activity-based things are kind of London-centric. There's obviously some will cross-reference over here, but I just don't think there will be as many people. It'd be great if there was, but at the minute it's sort of just kind of over there.
so it's so that's really a good point to sort of pivot off and to look at the business development side of things and how it's evolved from this initial thing of I want to go to the Van Gogh exhibition in London and I want to go. I'm going today and I would like a nice date to come with me. It's fantastic.
I couldn't sound more pretentious if I tried. And to be fair, I'm not in the art or anything like that. It literally came up on my Instagram feed and I saw that there looks amazing. And I'm in London. And I was like, I really want to go and see that. So just for now much, I'm not that pretentious. I'm not an art guy. I just love the look of it.
But it's the good things that you do if you are in London, etc. Is you take the opportunity to go and see those
100%.
exhibitions, Manny.
I didn't get to go though.
But like 30,000 in a very short period of time. I mean, that was just over a series of months, wasn't it? That they got the traction.
So we had our beta testing that testing in November, and then we sort of had our full launch mid-Jan.
Is that 2023? Is it?
2023, yeah, sorry, 2023. So we had a full launch at mid-Jan, and yeah, over that time space, we had 30,000 installs. It's not I'll just really clear. It's like it wasn't 30,000 users at a time. It was 30,000 installs as people were liking what we were doing, but the concept is quite different to anything else that's out there. So excuse me, people weren't really getting at the beginning anyway. People weren't really getting that it's a same day date now. They were going on at 11 o'clock at night, like where you can like you're not going to be going looking for a date at 11 o'clock at night, if you know what I mean. So and then so we sort of cut back on our marketing and then sort of try to focus like just getting more brand awareness out there so people can actually understand what the concept is. We're trying to be different from other dating apps where majority of users that use dating apps are lying in bed swiping before they go to sleep, which we don't want to be that. We want to be the people that just be like, you're on your lunch break and like, you know what, I'm free at 6 tonight. We'll go on to it. We'll say, I want to do this. I'm free at this time, and there we go. I want it, and then you just go on ours. Yes, there won't be as many users on it, but the chances of getting a date are a lot higher because it's a lot more refined. And that's sort of the thing is, this study showed like or the biggest market research showed that like it's like it takes 60% of users a month to get a date or something like that. Whereas ours, you can literally just go on. There'll be less people to choose from initially, but you've got more chance of getting a date. So it makes more
In
sense.
one sense, it sounds like the morning app. Like it's like you
Aye,
engage with it better in the morning or the early afternoon or something.
100%. Our push notifications we usually send at like 8 or 8:30 in the morning, just so whenever people get up there, getting ready for work or on the morning commute, they'll just be like, oh, you know what? There's thing, go on. Everyone's on at that time. Okay, we're free at this time. Let's do this later on. So I thought there's kind of
You see, that sounds great. If you're using because it's app based, and you're using the push, I can nearly say it, push notifications to the mobile phone to say you're on the train going into London or something. That's
Uh,
fantastic. That's pretty genius, Manny.
it makes sense, but you just don't know. You know what? People are it's it's really breaking the mold of this massive thing, and this is why it's so scary. Whenever you realize who you're trying to compete with, is they've got it nailed down in the sense that people love lying in bed and swiping, even if they've got no intention of talking to anyone. They've just got no intention of going on a date, whatever. They just like doing it. It's something it's a habit now, and it's trying to break that sort of habit. And that's sort of, it's like we're sort of targeting people that are fed up with that, and they just actually want to go on dates, and they don't want to be swiping all the time. They don't want to be messing all the time. They would actually rather just go on one day a week or twice a week on the day and just go, okay, get a match, go on a date, and that's it.
And is there sort of key demographics to your, who your target audience is, who your avatar is, or is it like I imagine it's like is it the young professional 25 to 35 group, or?
It is, yeah, but then you've obviously got people that are a bit older, say they've got kids, they might be out of a relationship, or they're fed up with like all the crap that customer comes around with all the other dating apps. It's just like, why waste the little time that I have? I may as well just, if I'm going to go on a dating app, why spend so long messaging and nothing coming of it? Why not just go on whenever I'm free and just get out there and go on a date? If it works, it's great, happy days. If it doesn't, then you've only wasted a couple of hours or maybe 5 hours. Whereas if you've been messaging someone for a month, you've wasted that whole month messaging them.
Yeah, and linked with, as you say, the really key thing of the verification, identity verification is an excellent sort of combination between the two. Like, can we just go on and move and look at the business development side of things? Because it has to be said that you've grown this company very quickly. You've got 30,000 users already.
30,000 installs. We've had 30,000 installs. I just have to say that it's not 30,000 users at this moment in time, but we've had the installs and stuff.
In a 30,000
Yeah,
installs
yeah.
in a short period of time. But because of that, you have partnered. Your co-founder is Nick Purwell. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're now entrepreneurs in residence at the Marco Partners Hedge Fund in London.
Yeah.
Can you say something about how you got there? Because that's quite a really
And
good win for the company.
it's cool. It's like Marshall Partners, like they are an American hedge fund, and they've got offices in Mayfair, which now we have to use at our well now as we're entrepreneurs in residence there. They the founder worked in Silicon Valley, and he's seen how they had loads of incubators around there, and he's like, this isn't happening enough in London. He's just like, right, what he wants to, he came over, and he's just like, right, I'm going to start this in London every year. I'm going to take on six exciting startups, and I fortunately we were one of the six that he took on. And so what he was saying is he would love to be the guy that whenever startups come through London, whenever they would go on, they make it. He's like he would love for the majority of startups to come through the doors of his place, and he's just that. He's a bit of a visionary, really.
And with that, just looking more at the finance side of things, you use the SEIS EIS, the tax efficiency scheme. Could you say something about that, please?
Yeah. So we've pretty much bootstrapped the majority of it, and we've had a few angel investors involved. So the perks of the SEIS EIS scheme is that you get 50% back on as a tax rebate on your initial investment, which is great. And for EIS, now that we're going crowdfunding, everyone that sort of invests in that gets half of their investment back on tax rebate, which is obviously it's an amazing thing, and it encourages people in the invest if they kind of like the sound, the idea. Then it actually makes financial sense to invest in it because you get 50% of it back on a tax rebate.
Well, and moving on to the crowdfunding side of things, which interests my good self. And thank you for going for the democracy of investment by crowdfunding. Could you say
Uh,
something about your campaign that's coming up, please?
so it's coming up. It's actually coming up in the next couple of weeks. So what date are we on now? We're the 27th today. 27th today. So I think our crowdfunding will be launching I think it's within the next 10, it'll be within the next 10 days or so anyway. We just thought it was a good way to get out there. To raise awareness of the brand as well. So it kind of does two things. It obviously gets the money in so you can develop and grow, but it also raises awareness and sort of gets the word out there, builds a bit of hype about it, which, yeah, that's the reason we sort of went on that route. We're excited for it. Like, it seems like a good way to go.
Well, so it's what we'll do is as soon as we know, I'll put you're going with Crowdcube, I believe.
Yeah.
Which is a really successful. I think it's the leading equity crowdfunding company platform in the UK. And what we'll do is we'll put the campaign link in the video description up below beside your landing page as well. It's really exciting to be talking to you, Mani. It's really great. I always love to hear where the ideas come from, and it's like you've put your own personal journey of getting the ultimate date in really being helping other people. With the 30,000 downloads, etc., and the people have recognized it, such as the Marco partners have recognized what you're doing and the value that you're bringing to the market, but also to people's lives. And now you're moving on to the next stage of crowdfunding, and as you say, getting the word out there. Probably initially, I guess, is it across the UK you're going to go, or are you thinking of going to the States? Is that the next protocol?
The States is where you want to be. But we're talking to people with, like, we've got some great non-executive directors, and they're sort of coming in and they're saying maybe this. So we're working on about the States is literally where you want to be, but we're talking to people that are saying maybe do this first before you go there. So to be honest, the States is ideal, but we haven't sort of rolled out maybe going across the UK first and then just going to the States. It's kind of it's.
Well, it's a work in progress, Mani.
Like we're having the debate every day. We're talking about it. We're like, no, it has to be here. It has to be here. But so it is. We don't know. We'll see.
Well,
we'll see.
Please come back maybe mid-campaign or of your crowdfunding campaign for an update, or at the end of the campaign, and tell us where you're going next. But hopefully by then you'll have the 3 million downloads and the 2 million active users would be fantastic, my friend.
The dream. Unreal. Of course I will. Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Well, Mani, so I'd just like to say thank you to Mani Kular from the Todate app, who's based in Derry, Londonderry in Northern Ireland. Thank you very much, my friend.
Can I just say one thing as well?
Yes, please go ahead, Mani.
I'd like to thank Steve Lazarus as well from Amin for setting us up and putting us in touch. I really have to throw him in there. I appreciate it.
Thanks again to Mani from the Todate app. The landing page link and the up-and-coming crowdfunding campaign link will be in the video description below. See you again soon, folks, for Season 2. Bye now.